3-4 Arizona Cardinals coming off a victory against the New Orleans Saints. Travel to Minnesota coming off a bye where they were 5-1. Minnesota is given 3.5 points in this game. I don't think that's going to be quite enough. We'll get into that later. Kyler Murray's having a good season when he runs the football. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense, but he won't run the football that many times. He just doesn't do it. He'll do it a handful of times in a game. He'll give you a spectacular run or two, but that usually isn't enough. They've got their number one wide receiver back, DeAndre Hopkins, back from suspension. They targeted him 14 times. He had 10 catches in this game against New Orleans, which is pretty doggone good. But I look at the other side of the ball. I look at their offensive line on Minnesota. They're doing a decent job of Dalvin Cook running the ball. Kirk Cousins is not in prime time, so that's a big thing for him. He's completed 66% of his passes on the season. Justin Jefferson is probably one of the top 3 receivers in the National Football League. And don't forget about Adam Thielen. He's one heck of a wide receiver also. They're playing at home. They've got 2 great players on defense. Jordan Hicks and Patrick Peterson are former Arizona Cardinals. They're going to have something to prove against the Cardinals in this game.
Well, Arizona, to me, is really an enigma, Mark. You just don't know how to win. I think Kyler Murray, 65% of his pass completions, over 1,600 yards. But the longest pass completion he's had, Mark, has been 32 yards. And that tells you they just don't have the great receivers to be able to get open. And you mentioned that. Well, if you can stop the tight end, then you have a good chance to stop them. And I think that when you look at Minnesota, Kirk Cousins just he just shows up, and he's a wonderful young man. He's been a good quarterback, and he's well paid and deservedly so. But he just doesn't win the big ball game. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a big ball game. So I think that Minnesota will prevail 27-24. But I think the Cards will win that division eventually. They have the best football team talent-wise.
Oh, I'm taking Minnesota to win this game. That's going to bury the Cardinals at 3-5. I got Minnesota making a statement in this game, winning this game 36-24.